Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode. My name is Mohammad Reza Fati, and I'm a life coach. What we do in life echoes in eternity. This episode is about unclear future. We are going to discuss how do we respond to unclear future and what we should do to improve ourselves. Have you ever woken up with a strange heaviness in your chest? Not because something bad has happened, but because you don't know what will happen. Nothing is quite wrong, and yet everything feels uncertain. It's that quiet anxiety about the future, your career, your relationship, your health, your country, and your dreams. The future feels like fog, not darkness, fog. And fog is different from darkness. In darkness, you know you can't see, but in fog, you know you should be able to see, but you can't. And that's what makes it harder. Today, I want to talk about that fog, how it feels and how people react to it, how we can prepare, not controlling the future, but by becoming stronger than the uncertainty itself. So let's talk about what an unclear future feels like. An unclear future feels like standing at a crossroad where all the signs are blank. You're ready to move, but the map has been erased. It feels like sending a message and seeing someone is typing, waiting for medical test results, finishing university and not knowing who you are without structure, loving someone without knowing where you're going to end with that person, building something and not knowing it will survive. A philosopher has said, anxiety is a dizziness of freedom. That's what the unclear future is. It's dizziness. Because suddenly you realize there are too many possibilities. And here's the paradox. We are not afraid of the future. We are afraid of not being able to predict it. Our brain is a prediction machine. It wants certainty like lungs want oxygen. So when certainty disappears, the body reacts. Tight chest, overthinking, restlessness, mental scenarios at 2 a.m. The future becomes a movie playing in our mind, and somehow it's always a tragedy. Let's talk about how people react to uncertainty. When humans face fog, they usually choose one of these four reactions. Let's explore them honestly. Number one, controlling everything. Some people respond by trying to control more. They make rigid plans, 5-year goals, 10-year strategies, backup plans for backup plans. Planning is not bad. But when planning becomes obsession, a prison, it's not preparation anymore. It's fear wearing a productivity costume. It's like trying to grab fog with your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the less you hold. Reaction number two is freeze. Other people freeze. They postpone decisions, they wait for clarity, they say, I'll move when I'm sure. But clarity rarely comes before movement. Clarity often comes because of movement. Waiting for full visibility in life is like refusing to walk until the entire road lights up. It won't. Reaction number three, some people escape distractions, endless scrolling, overworking, overeating, and overthinking. Anything to avoid sitting with the discomfort of not knowing. But the future does not become clear just because we look away. It goes, you can ignore the truth, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring that truth. Reaction number four, catastrophize. Some people assume the worst. If I don't know what will happen, it must be bad. The mind fills empty space with fear. Uncertainty plus imagination equals anxiety. But here's something important. Uncertainty does not mean danger. It simply means openness, and openness is neutral. Imagine you're sailing. You leave the harbor. At first, you can see the land. It feels safe. But slowly, the shore disappears. Now there is only water, sky, wind, and you. That moment, When the shore vanishes is the unclear future. You cannot go back easily. You cannot see forward clearly. So, what matters now? Not the horizon, your skills. Can you read the wind? Can you adjust the sail? Can you stay calm during waves? When visibility is low, character becomes more important than clarity. You cannot control the ocean, but you can become a better sailor. That's called preparation. Why do we suffer in uncertainty? We suffer not because the future is unclear, we suffer because we want guarantees. We want life to sign a contract. If I work hard, I will succeed. If I love well, I won't be hurt. If I plan enough, nothing will collapse. But life has never signed that contract. The Stoics understood this deeply. They separated life into two categories: what's in my control and what's not. The future is not in your control. Your response to it is. And yet, most of our energy goes into fighting the uncontrollable. That's exhausting. It's like arguing with the weather. So, can we prepare for an unclear future? Yes, but not the way most people think. Preparation is not prediction. Preparation is inner strengthening. Here are four ways to prepare for that fog. Number one, build psychological flexibility. The future rewards flexible people, not rigid ones. Ask yourself, if this plan fails, who am I without it? If your entire identity depends on one outcome, uncertainty will crush you. But if you are adaptable, you bend, not break. Flexibility is emotional muscle, and it grows when you practice small uncertainties. Try new things, change routines, have uncomfortable conversations, train your nervous system to tolerate the unknown. Number two, reduce your attachment to specific outcomes. Have direction, but hold it lightly. Instead of saying, I must achieve this exact result, say this: I will move in this direction and grow regardless of the result. This shifts you from outcome based living to growth based living. The unclear future becomes less threatening when your goal is growth, not guarantee. Number three, strengthen your inner stability. When the outer world is unstable, inner stability becomes everything. This comes from self awareness, emotional regulation, values clarity, and meaning. If you know your values, you can make decisions even in the fog. Values are like a compass. You don't need to see the entire landscape if you know which direction is north. Number four, practice micro courage. You don't need massive bravery. You need small, consistent courage. Send a message, apply for the job, start the project, have the conversation. Fall clear step by step, not all at once. Action reduces anxiety more than the thinking ever will. Now, here's something paradoxical. The future has always been unclear. Always. We just pretend it wasn't. Certainty is often an illusion created by routine. But history shows us something powerful. Humans are incredibly adaptable. You have already survived versions of uncertainty you once thought would break you. Think about it. There were days in your past when you thought, I don't know how I'll get through this. And yet you did. Why? Because you are more resilient than your fear suggests. And the final part, maybe the goal is not to eliminate the fog. Maybe the goal is to learn how to walk inside it, slowly, attentively, courageously. The unclear future is not your enemy. It is the space where possibility lives. Yes, uncertainty carries risk, but it also carries transformation. Every new chapter begins unclear. Every meaningful change begins in fog. So if your future feels unclear right now, maybe you're not lost. Maybe you are simply at the edge of something new. And instead of asking, how can I control what's coming? Ask, Who must I become to walk through it? Because when you become stronger, the fog becomes less frightening. And sometimes you don't need to see the whole path. You just need enough light for the next step, and that is always available. What we do in life echoes in eternity.